It's called yeah. It's called yeah.
Hello, 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 hello. Oh my gosh, y'all. It is Life by Design. Now, listen, let me go ahead and apologize to everyone right now because I am in the dark. There were lights in here, and I don't know what happened to the lights. So I'm a little dark, but I know y'all can see me, and I know y'all are ready for this conversation because this is the conversation we have been waiting for. Y'all, we are talking about it today. And let me tell you something. Go ahead and get your pen, get your pad. And if you're watching the replay, when you watch the replay, because I know y'all gonna come back and look at it again. When you watch the replay, go ahead and get your questions because I got a feeling this won't be the only time we have this conversation. Because we already talk about it, but y'all, it's real. And this is what Life by Design is all about. So thank you guys for joining this morning. If you have not invited a friend to join you for Life by Design and join these conversations, make sure you tap someone and say, you know what, these are conversations that we are having in this time of our lives, right? These are the times because it's time for us to live with intention. It's time for us to design our life, set those boundaries, take care of ourselves, be good to us. All right. So we are having those conversations and we are holding each other accountable for setting those boundaries while we're doing it. Okay. So listen, I got somebody good. Y'all know we bringing the best of the best to the table, and that is so very exciting. I have been watching this young lady, and I said, wait a minute, I need to have a conversation. Wait a minute, how I book an appointment? let us just sit on the patio and just talk. Because sis, I'm having some issues. So let me go ahead and introduce you all to our guest speaker today. Um, let me get my information so I won't mess up. Okay. But Dr. Shakika Misher. Yeah. Dr. Shakika Misher is a doctorate of nursing practice, board certified family nurse practitioner, and the founder of Thriver Wellness. Hormone optimization practice built for women who are tired of being told their labs are normal when they know something is wrong. After being dismissed by her own provider during a pivotal health shift, she reimagined what healthcare could look like: longer appointments, root cause answers, and a provider who actually listens. She serves women across 6 states and is a fierce advocate for women designing their health and their lives on their terms. Is that not what Life by Design is all about? Y'all, let's go ahead and bring Dr. Misha to the stage. I am so very excited to have her here with us today. Oh my goodness. Let me listen. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Life by Design. First of all, let me give you your flowers. Let me give you your flowers, your roses, your calla lilies, your all the things, your tulips, all of that, because even when your labs were normal, and that's what most of us go through, you were like, I am sick of being dismissed. I'm sick of being, oh, you're good. I'm sick of being in this space where I know something is wrong. Now, I may not be a doctor. I may not be in position to tell you the technical terms, but because you are the doctor, I am looking for you to share with me what is going on with me. So I just want to give you your flowers because you said no more. And since I know this is happening to me and I am in the medical field, let me do something different so that I can serve the women who are going in doctors' offices and leaving out feeling the way I'm feeling. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You are welcome. This is for every and last one of us. With that, you all have been in that shoes, some shape, form, or fashion. When you've went into a provider, or even talking to yourself, because sometimes we do it to ourselves as well. Okay, girl, you all right? We just tired. Let me keep pushing through this. And when you know in your gut that something is wrong from it, and I am going to tell you over and over. Nobody knows your body like you. So stand in that. You are the expert of your body from it. You know it in and outs. People can make assumptions, but you're living in it. So that gut feeling that we all have, those like, oh girl, something's going on. Listening to those signals that your body is in is so important.
Yes, it is. And again, I'm just so thankful because so many times we are just like, okay, and we blow it off just like they blew us off, and we blow ourselves off. And we got to stop that.
No,
We
because you walk out defeated. Like, okay, maybe something ain't wrong with me. Maybe I'm just a mad. Maybe I'm just, and you start to doubt yourself, and that's
Mhm.
that's not where it's at. At least for a minute, it's like don't allow that control to shift from you to somebody else. That maybe you've been seeing them for years, and maybe it was the very first time, but each time is a brand new time. So keep that ownership. That's you.
I love that. Let's just get back in. Let's get into what we're going to be talking about today. Our monthly focus this month is healing in real life, navigating life shifts, menopause, aging, and adult ADHD, and all the things, right? And today, the title, what we're talking about today is Your Body Isn't Betraying You. It's talking to you. That is just, I mean, like, listen, that's what we're talking about. Like, it is not betraying you. And you just said it. You're like, do not, and we do walk out and we're defeated and we think that, oh, there's nothing wrong. I'm going to be okay. When in essence, we're not okay. There's actually something going on. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into your presentation because I'm so anxious to get in here to just walk away with some things that I can tell my doctor or I'm just gonna start coming to see you.
Come on over.
I'm just
It's
gonna come over and
room.
start seeing you, honey. But for all of us, that aren't in the space where we can actually, come and see you or whatever, but where we can walk away today with a list of or things that we can do to make things better, and we are affirmed today that no, there's nothing wrong. There is something wrong, but you're not wrong for calling it out, and you don't have to feel defeated. There are some questions you can ask and there's some things that you can do. So Mo, go ahead and add that, and let's go ahead and get into your presentation today because I'm excited about this.
Amazing. Out, blow it slowly from it, and really hone in to you. Because I am going to drop a lot of little nuggets here, a lot of information, a lot of you going to be like, that's me. You're going to do a lot of nod heading, take your notes from Ms. Whether that's on a phone or pen and paper. But I want you first, thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm from it. Really being able to start out with that because that says something to like you, like, okay, this is ownership. I'm from it. This is me. I want to listen and to learn and to grow with who I am and who I am becoming from it and to know that you're not falling apart, you're not crazy or anything at all. And sometimes we've been taught that like something's wrong from it, and there's just something's happening to us instead of us going through something. So we're going to shift that change today from it as well. So over this next time that we have together, we're going to walk away with new language. Rather, you're seeing me as provider, your own provider. You're talking to your daughters, your sisters, your mom, your friends, your coworkers, to have that language. And language is so important from him. So you're going to walk away with that language and what it's about, and really how to embrace that. So again, I am Dr. Shakika Mishra. I am a doctor prepared nurse practitioner from it, and I practice in Texas and across 6 other states as well. But this today is the most important thing that I want to tell you, is that it's not about my degrees, it's not about my experience and things from it. This is about you. I have been in your shoes, still in your shoes, and this in my perimenopause journey, where I sat in my provider's office knowing dizziness, dryness everywhere, just not feeling anxious with it, and being walked away, defeated with it. And that was that pivotal moment of that been told that I'm fine when I know that I'm not fine. And that may be you, that you experience or experiencing right now. And that moment changed everything for me. I remember it to this day of sitting in my truck and just tears falling down. I was like,
Yeah.
if me, somebody that has all the experience that I've been in, and at the time I had been in nursing in like 17 years,
Okay.
and having all that experience, and then to come out and feel defeated. How does
Hmm.
somebody who doesn't have clinical experience or know what questions to ask, how do they feel? And then we'll walk
Yeah.
away. So we're going to get into that today. We can go to the next slide. So what I remember sitting in that room from him and thinking about like all the questions and the communications that I can ask from it. I had the brain fog, I had the fatigue, the sleep that just was just tired. Like not, I felt like I was sleeping, but still tired and just irritable. Things just didn't match and things from it. And I promise, I feel like I was doing the same thing I was doing 10 years ago, but those same things just felt different.
Yeah.
Um, and I had my blood work done, and I got those words that came back. Oh, they're normal. You're good. Everything's from it. And I looked and I said, you know what? Even though everything looks normal, I don't feel normal. I'm from it. So I can walk away with that. And that moment became so important of understanding the difference between normal and optimal. And we're going to talk about that today because there are a huge difference with it. We tell our children, if you have children, your grandkids, and these from it, you don't want to be just average, right? And these from it, you're going, you setting that bar, and things from them, and that's when you get into normal, like you're among the average, and things from it. And we all are different, and especially during this phase of life from it, we all can have the same symptoms but experience them totally different. So understand that. Try not to compare yourself because what your experience is for you on with that.
So let
So
me ask you, can I ask you a real quick
yes,
question?
absolutely.
So when we go and they come back and they say, "Oh, your labs are normal." So is that just the everybody's baseline? That's just like the book
It
baseline.
Yes, that's such a great question. When you think of our normal and our medical term, so normal is just means you don't meet the parameters to be diagnosed with a condition. There's hypertension,
Okay.
diabetes, anxiety. It just means you didn't meet that criteria.
Click that.
That
Click that.
criteria is large in these from it. And so our normal ranges, and the normal ranges is when you look at your lab report and you see those little ranges on the right hand side, sometimes
Yes.
it says from 2 to 200, and you know, that big
Yes.
long range from that.
Yes.
What that is, how we get our normal ranges, and it takes the top 2 to 3% from the top and at the bottom from it. And this is looking at sick people and from it across. So they take those numbers, the top 2 to 3% from the top and bottom, and they make that as an average. So that becomes the normal ranges from it. And that's across age groups from it. You know, people that was sick, that weren't sick. So you get this wide variety of ranges from that. And that's exactly what normal is. Versus optimal is when you're going to feel your best. It's a narrow lab range from it before symptoms occur. Also, remember in healthcare, we are very reactive. We're not proactive at all in healthcare, especially in our
Right.
traditional medicine. With it, we treat you in traditional world once you've been diagnosed with something, once you've already had the symptoms and not prior to. So that optimal range gets to treat you prior to that and to prevent things from happening instead of waiting from that to go off. Great
Okay.
question.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. All right, so let's go to the next slide. So before we go any further, I want to read these statements here, and I want you to drop a hand in the chat. And these from or nod you, and my hands up. Nod your head and these from that. And as I read it, like, oh, that's me from it. Have you ever felt exhausted even after a full night of sleep? Have you ever been told your labs are normal, but you knew something was off? Have you felt like your brain just stopped working the way it used to? Look at those hands. Yes. You gain weight without changing what you eat.
Let me put, look, can I put my feet up too?
Yeah.
Can I? Like, what is going on? Yeah,
Or
yeah.
have you ever wondered if this is what getting older feels like?
Look.
It's like hands up. You are absolutely in the right plan. If you raise your hand, I want you to realize from that you're not broken,
Yeah.
you're not dramatic at all. From it. And
Clip
you
that.
are a woman in a body that is changing. And our healthcare system was not designed to listen to you. But today we're going to fix that from it. We're going to give you the tools to really help to reset. She's like, yes, hands up
Yes,
from that. So we can really get into that listening part on both ends, us listening to our bodies and how to train our providers to listen to us as well, which is so important. Next slide. So what we're going to do is that we're going to walk through on this next slide from it, like what's happening and what's going on.
Oh my gosh,
Here's
yes.
something about perimenopause that often like nobody says or mentions to you. Perimenopause doesn't start at age 50 from it. It can start in your 30s, especially for women of color from it. We'll start to notice symptoms and things around our 30s, mid 30s from it before anything else. The symptoms of brain fog, that weight change that we was just talking about, our mood, fatigue, they're not personal flaws at all from it. They're hormone signals. And we have three main hormones that come into play. Estrogen is the one that most people know about from it. But what they don't know is that estrogen impacts from the top of our head to the soles of our feet. That's our memory, that's our mood, our sleep, our metabolism. We're just talking about that weight, your skin, your bone protection. When estrogen drops from it, even the slight, it starts this ripple effect. Just like when you're dropping a pebble out in the river or in any water and all those ripples start coming, that's your estrogen and and that impact reaches so far beyond. Then we have progesterone. I got progesterone, that's our feel good hormone. It's our
Okay.
common to get some sleep and some rest. But when it drops, you can feel wired but tired from it. You can't sleep even when you're exhausted. Are you waking up between 1 and 4 o'clock in the morning? That's that progesterone saying, okay, sis, I'm a little low over here. Come here, see, help me out over here. Check out. It's not an anxiety disorder, and that's often where we get placed into. Okay, this is an anxiety piece of it. Let's look into it, and that can be part of it, but that's not the full story.
Okay.
Progesterone is telling us the story that we need to listen and kind of hone into. And then we have testosterone. Yes, yes, we have testosterone as well as women. And it is so important. Testosterone, when it shifts, our drive goes down from it. Our motivation, our ability to build muscle like we used to, or that tone, and even that spark just starts to dwindle with it. All of this from the estrogen, the progesterone, the testosterone, you're not broken from it. It doesn't mean that you're falling apart, but it does mean that your hormones are talking to you. And the better question to ask is, are you listening? So,
Okay.
what does this look like in daily life? And I want to show you what the most common symptoms are that we miss as women as we're going through this. So, we'll go to the next slide.
Oh, because now I really have. I'm
And
like,
she's like,
okay.
what
Let
questions?
me. Let
Yes.
me. They are coming. Let me. And let me just while we're getting to the next slide, Mo. Let's go to the next slide. Um, if you have questions, y'all, during the presentation, go ahead and drop the questions in here. We'll go back, we'll roll back and ask those questions. If we miss it or anything like that, we'll roll back and check. But I'm excited to hear this part because these are things that I really honestly I thought, oh my gosh, it's wrong. And I self-diagnosed myself with ADHD, but I was like, I've got to have it because I'm having all the things. I could very well be just not having enough hormones. So anyway, you go ahead because I'm
Mm-mm.
excited about this.
And I love because you bring up such a good point, and it's one of the things I talked about with my clients as well. These symptoms, as you see on this slide that we're going to go through, they mirror so many other things from it.
Mhm.
And when we talk about like our providers, like if that dismissal, as providers, the majority of providers when they were in school got anywhere from 30 minutes to a max of 2 hours of education on perimenopause in menopause if they got any at all. So it's a very uncomfortable space to be in with it. And that's your family practice, your OBGYNs from a, your mid, we get very little. And the ones of us that's out and practicing, we had to go after that. We had to go and get more education and things from that. And all these symptoms, they sound like your thyroid. They sound like anxiety. They sound like ADHD from it, or maybe it's your blood pressure. So other things are on the table because they all look alike. But you got to take a step back and look at the whole picture. We are not segmented on our cycle. We're not segmented on our hormones or things. This is a full body piece of it. So it's so important to look at the full picture and not segment it into different little areas here. So
I just
go ahead.
real quick. What you just said, like they only get 30 minutes to 2 hours. And we have been with ourselves for years, and
Mm-hmm.
we're saying that makes a little bit more sense in why they don't know and why they do dismiss and why they do look at it at a normal range because that's all the training that they have. So
Mm-hmm.
it's important that we come after someone like you that has gone the extra mile to say, this is what I want to specialize in because I've dealt with it, because I'm dealing with it, because women are dealing with this and there is no one to give them information and really break it down, like really look at, like you said, the optimal life as opposed to just the average life. But that was good information. So I thank you for breaking that down because that helps me. I feel, and I say that because I feel like the dismissing us, it may not be because they're just being, dirtbags. they just
Still
don't know.
no.
They
Mhm.
have no idea. And I mean, most times, I mean, me growing up, most of my doctors were male. They didn't they didn't deal in all of that anyway. You know what I mean? So now we're going to women doctors. Now we're going to black women doctors, and it's even different. So it's even more to me. It's even more. Well, you just said that. Like it really work. Perimenopause comes in earlier, and especially in black women, it comes
Mhm.
earlier. And you being a black woman, like teaching this, going after the education, understanding this, just having more knowledge in a space that would help us is everything. I thank you. Just I don't know how many times I'm gonna tell you thank you, but thank you so much because this means so much. We got a couple of comments. Women are suffering. Yes, we are. And she said, my poor Charnel Lydia says, my poor mom and aunts and grandmother, because they didn't have anyone.
That's right. And they were, just pushing through. Oh, we're going through a change. She's all right. And things from it. And that's the biggest thing. One of the questions I asked is like, you know what? How many of us have had that conversation with our family, from our moms, our aunts, and things from who's had that conversation? And oftentimes they didn't know what conversation to have because they didn't have it either. As well, we can remember things like, oh, like they were hot, they were sweating when everybody else weren't. Things from it, or the mood and things change. But to truly understand and to see it like as a whole, it's like, oh, like that hits different
Give
as
me,
well.
hold on
Yeah.
one second, Shakika. Priscilla, we're live and the volume is up. Is everybody hearing us? Because she's saying no volume. So I just want to make
Okay.
sure that everybody's hearing us real quick. So if you can hear us, go ahead and drop a heart in the comment or tell us that you can hear us in the comment section. Let us know that you can hear us real quick. Okay.
Yes.
So Michelle says she can hear. Okay, yes, we can hear. Okay, okay. So Priscilla, hopefully just go ahead and turn your volume up. Let me try and add her and ask her to turn her volume up.
Yes. I want you to hear everything.
Yeah, exactly. We need everybody on the call to hear all of this because this is I mean, everything that we talk about is what we're going through, but this yeah, this is really good because it's the why behind we're being dismissed. It's
Yeah.
the understanding of why we are not getting the answers that we need, and it's the how do we go from here part. This
Hmm.
is what this conversation is about, and I appreciate this because we understand because you don't have the education in it. You are a doctor, but you don't have this education, and here you are saying, well, they don't have it, but I do. Moving forward, here I am. Let's go. You know what I mean? And so that is, and not only you, there are other ones that are really diving into this space specifically to help us. And that means the world to me. So I don't know how many times I'm going to tell you thank you, but I thank you. I thank you. So let's go ahead and move into this slide.
Yes. So we're going to go through these from it. And these are the five most common symptoms from it that women consistently rather misread or we minimize it from him. So I want to go through as I go through these. I want you to kind of think in your head, nod like, is this yeah, this one's mine? Oh, let me take this one too from him because I have seen that as well. So the brain fog. This is such a common one from it. Women tell me this consistently. I am losing my words. I walk into a room and I forget what I'm there for. My memory used to be sharp. And I hear this a lot from the teachers. It's just I experienced a 4 to 5. We got help coming. Yes. I experienced my teachers, my executives, my web all every moms that kind of come through and it's like, you know what? Shakika, am I going through like do I have dementia? Like what is going on? Right. Why can't I remember? And these things used to be sharp with it. And I've been there. Stand up giving a presentation and the words just gone. Like you can see the words, but you can't
Mhm.
verbalize them. And it's like, okay, I know what you know what I'm talking about. Just say the words for me. And everybody's looking at you. And that done found like, oh, is she gonna go to the next stage or not? And it's only a few seconds, but you feel like it's a lifetime. I'm
Yeah.
with it. That is our estrogen speaking. Speaking up, saying, okay, like things are shifting here. Come help me out. Our second one is sleep that doesn't restore. Your body is sleeping but not recovering. Sleeping is a necessity. It's not an accessory at all from that. So I encourage every last one of us to get our sleep as much and as often as we can. And when you're waking up, I mentioned it earlier, waking up between that time frame between 1 and 4 o'clock from it, just with your mind racing of everything else is going on, or you can't go back to sleep. That's your progesterone we spoke about. That's also our cortisol levels from it that are usually part of the story where they're spiking from it in the middle of the night when they should be resting and getting that balance.
Okay.
Mood shifts that feel foreign from it. This isn't me from it. Why am I doing this? Why do I feel this way? And it's exactly that. It's not you. It's not a personality shift or where you just completely just out of your body from that. This one is a hormonal one. And this is one that touches us the most because the people who get this shift, the blunt of it the most is going to be our family, it's our loved ones, it's our spouses, it's our kids from that get that brunt piece of our mood that shifts from that. And it's not just how we respond from it, is what we do when with that response as well. That irritability, that low level sadness from it, that I feel okay, but now I'm crying from it, or I'm angry all of a sudden. Those are those shifts within those hormonals from with those estrogen and progesterone. Yes, been awake since 4:15 and exhausted. Yes, and
Listen,
get that. Listen, then they start, and then you feel, and then you irritable all over because you ain't had your sleep. We need our beauty rest, and they let me get that back for sure. Angry black woman, yes, and those
stereotype.
stereotypes. That's a whole nother conversation we're going to talk about from it as
Oh
well.
my gosh. I didn't even think about that until Lydia wrote that. But that is it. That makes so much. Okay, I'm gonna let you get through it, but that makes so much sense. Like that makes
Yes,
a lot of sense. Yeah.
it's society that shift. Then we're at weight that shifts without lifestyle changes from it, especially around our lower belly from it. It's like that weight come in and it's sitting there. Then when you try to give it an eviction notice, and it ain't going anywhere at all from that. This is often insulin resistance with it. And cortisol levels play a part into it as well. When our estrogen levels start to decrease, estrogen is very anti-inflammatory. So we'll often see that belly fat that comes up. We'll often see our glucose levels increasing, our blood pressure, cholesterol, all from the domino effect of estrogen, the P7. So you see how that plays into, again, when we talked about we've gone to our providers, now we've got a blood pressure medication, now we've got cholesterol, we got anxiety and things, because everything mimics. And it really takes a moment to sit down. Okay, let me look at that full picture on with it. And that's why that belly fat comes and it sits there from it. It doesn't just respond to eating less or moving more from it. We're all on GPs fighting for GLP-1s fighting for our lives. That's right.
Fighting,
I'm from
fighting, honey.
fighting. And the GLPs play a big part into it, as well. I've really been able to have that focus. And it's the shift piece of it. You can be eating right, you can be exercising, you're counting and doing all the things. Speaking of that, one of the biggest things I talk a lot with my clients from, and even teaching on intermittent fasting. We have this love for intermittent fasting from it.
Okay.
But let me give you just a little red flag, a card to put up.
Oh, I like
Intermittent
this one. Clip that.
fasting.
Come on.
Yes. Intermittent fasting is not for us in perimenopause or menopause at
Really?
all. It's not. And the reason why is that it sparks and kind of shoots up our cortisol levels, that insulin resistance that we talked about. It does the opposite effect. I always like to tell my women, it's like, it's almost when you live in the South and you see the squirrels, how the squirrels go and they collect all their acorns and kind of place it up in their cheeks and go in a store. Our body goes through that same type of process from it, where you have that shift, and then where you go into that store mode where you're not wanting to burn that metabolism and that fat. The long term time frame of intermittent fasting shoots our body in that roller coaster, especially with our hormones. As women, we should be getting up and eating some type of protein within 30 minutes to an hour of waking up from it. That sets our body, that resets our glucose levels, those cortisol, those insulin from our metabolism, our energy. That's so important. When we go those longer time frames of intermittent fasting, 8, 12, 16 hours, it really throws off our hormones that are already in a volatile state with it. So if you are doing intermittent fasting, take a pause and think about what that time frame looks like. I always encourage, like, if you want to do it, if that works for you, baby, let it do it from it. But ensure that you're getting that protein in within that first hour of waking up, because protein is so important for our bones, our body building, muscle building from that, but also helping to decrease that insulin resistance, the utilization of our hormones. Protein plays a key part into that. So take a moment to think about that. If you've been doing it, yeah, I've been doing intermittent fasting for years.
Sure.
Yes.
I was just thinking that, like, I literally, and okay, so a lot of this now, I'm like GLP-1s, and so it takes your appetite away. So
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, I'll just eat at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. No, ma'am. Mm-mm. Let's roll it back. I said, even if you just put some nuts in your bag and things from it,
Yes.
boil you some eggs, so you can just something you can grab and go. That very first, because when you think about from a protein, we were aiming for at least, especially on the GLP-1, aim from at least 30 to 40 grams of protein for every single meal. Think about on the average, it's just kind of approximate. What you weigh in pounds, you're trying to get that in grams of protein throughout the day from it. So you want to space that out. That's
Really?
your fuel, especially on any type of GLP-1 or anything. The first weight that you're going to lose is your muscle mass. What did we just talk about? Our muscles, they get weak from it.
Yes.
That protection, we need it for our bones, we need it for our insulin. Yes, it's so important with that. So we have to shift that thinking. And a lot of it comes from we got to prepare differently as well, because we're working, we're moms, we got jobs, we're running businesses, we're doing all the things. We got a hair appointment, we got things that we've got to go and do from that. So if we prepare to set ourselves up, it helps to prepare not only for what we're doing today, but next week, 5 years, 10 years. Yes.
Listen.
Yes, we're gonna get it back living as well. Absolutely. They play so important piece in our hormones and our weight and extra all of that is so important and a key component there as well. Focus. Focus is so important, especially for our high performing women from it. Many of us are being diagnosed with ADHD for the first time in our 40s from it. And it's not because we suddenly developed it at all. It's because the hormones was masking it from it. And now that mask is slipping. The hormones is covering it up for you. And now the hormones are starting to dip. So you start to see these symptoms kind of rise and come up to the same as well. So we're going to talk about ADHD in midlife because it is one of
Mm.
the most underdiagnosed piece in this whole conversation. So we're going to go to the next slide. All right. So I
I'm
mean,
just
I like
nervous.
you know, she's nervous, like, oh, what's gonna come through? What's gonna pull back the curtains?
Mm.
So I want to spend some time here from it because this conversation is so long overdue with it. Adult ADHD in women is one of the most under-recognized conditions in healthcare. And here is why. Perimenopause matters. We talked about our estrogen that helps regulate our dopamine, the neurotransmitter that's involved in attention and focus. When estrogen starts to decline, that dopamine becomes harder. And for women who are barely managing it, this is when the wheels start to fall off. I'm from it. We feel like we're on a bicycle with two flat tires and it ain't going anywhere because it's just that stuck with it. This is when you suddenly can't finish your sentence, when you're late to everything, you're overwhelmed by tasks that used to come to you so easily, like at the tip of your fingers. And you start finding your five things that you start five things, but you're just finishing none of them. They're all there. I've got all these tasks here. You may have all your lists, but nothing gets finished. I'm with it. And it's because our healthcare system was not trained to look for ADHD in women. I'm from it, especially in midlife. We talk about this with our teens. Beyond quit my job. Yes, you all kinds of shifts with those midlife and workplace is important. That's a whole shift in by itself. So with the ADHD, we're not looking for that in women from it because we're looking at that within our kids, our teens from it. So oftentimes as women, we'll get diagnosed with anxiety, depression, burnout from it. And sometimes we get all of them at one time with it. It's all of those things happening when it could be it's ADHD or it could be it's our hormones that shift with it. And above all of that, no matter what this label may be or these symptoms is there, I want you to understand and to realize that you're not failing from it. You were may have been underdiagnosed with it. And that is a profound difference between the two with that. Getting the right diagnosis changes everything from it. It's not just the treatment, but it's the understanding your own story from it. It's that validation that something you already knew in your gut that you felt it, but you didn't have the words for or what the technical, process was. But that validation all by itself, like, oh my gosh, like I can be me. I can live in my own body. So I want us to really think about on these next slides, what does ADHD look like in midlife? Because it doesn't always look the way that you think it does with it. So we'll move to the next slide here. So when people think of ADHD, they picture it as hyperactive from it, of normally a boy who can't sit still from it. He's always fidgeting or something's going on. But an ADHD in women, especially during the midlife, looks completely different. And this is exactly why it gets missed. Look at this at work. She is smart. Ooh, like fire on her, knows it. Often the smartest person in the room, but she can't seem to get things done from it. She has 1,000 of ideas, and boy, they are great ideas, but finishes maybe two of them at best. She works twice as hard as her colleagues to achieve the same results because of the significant amount of energy and things of going on, trying to manage her own brain with it. She gets called scattered, disorganized, unreliable, and she believes it because she has no other framework to explain the experience. At home, she forgets things, not because she doesn't care, it's because she cares so deeply, but the information doesn't stick the way that it used to. She starts a task and somehow ends up in three other rooms at the same time, starting three new things. Her emotions, reactions become too big for the situation that's at hand. And then she spirals with that shame that's around it. Like, why did I do this? What's going on? Like, what? And it's all, sometimes it's all in our mind, but then we're saying it out loud as well. And then we shift to her body. It's a nervous system dysregulation. Sleep is disrupted. Sensory overload is real from it. Like all the things that's going on, like even if your spouse chewing, I hear that like if he chews one more time, and he's been
It's
chewing
on.
it way.
We getting a divorce. The
Yes,
chewing.
I'm like, well, come on.
It's over.
Sensory overload is real, always so real. And you're exhausted because then you're not sleeping. It's not from laziness, but it's from just that cognitive effort that is so overwhelming. And every single thing that you do, you're trying to hold it together and trying to keep that poise. Like, okay, I got this. You're giving yourself that pep talk. This is what the critical piece is, what I often say. When estrogen drops in perimenopause from it, all of this intensifies with it. Women who were barely managing before find that everything falls apart. And they come to providers who treat anxiety, depression, insomnia from it, and it never touches the root with it. The root of ADHD is plus a hormonal shift that's there. They both deserve a seat at the table. I'm from it. They both are equally important. If we don't get to the root cause or anything, I described it to one of my clients this week. She was like, I just don't understand. If you ever been a baker, or even if you hadn't been a baker, you like to eat cake and things from it. You know, when you get a sad cake, it looks so pretty on the outside, right? It's everything's there with it. But when you cut into it, you have some sad. Now, some sad pieces are really good, depending. You got a good pound cake and that sad piece on the bottom. Like, ooh,
Come on.
with it.
Come on.
But that sad piece is covered up by the outside with it. You can't see it from the outside from those. And I'll like think about this as you as a woman. You can come into my office, you can come into anyone's office, and here we are virtually talking with one another. You can look well put together, but falling apart in the inside and just not in the right order or the right layers that's there from it, that where you feel your best. We always say you can't judge a book by its cover. I'm from it. Things are deeper in the inside. That's the same thing with our lives. I'm from it. If we don't get to the root cause, it's just like putting a band-aid over something, or it's just dressing up that sad cake that's there. Or you can put all the icing on the outside of it, but if we're still sad in the inside, no matter when we cut it, it's still going to be sad. So we can't dress things up. We've got to get down to the root cause of understanding what's happening. If you don't get to the root cause, those symptoms are going to always come back to the surface from it. You may feel good with the treatment for a couple of days, even a week, sometimes you even get to a month, and then they start to resurface it. And they're resurfacing because we didn't treat the root, starting from your foundation and then build up from there. We can't start at the roof and try to come back down to the foundation with it. Got to start at the bottom, and that's your solid piece. And that's when it comes in important of listening to yourself and from it, standing in that and that ownership, but also connecting with a provider that sees you fully, not just that lab diagnosis or that lab report that's there, not just the tiredness and the fatigue from it. Somebody that's going to sit down with you and talk about it all. Okay, what was it like in the bedroom from you? How are you performing on your job? Anything's from that. How do you feel? Getting down to like the things that you're passionate about, that desire, and also the what if. If things don't change, what's at risk with it?
Wow.
Those answers to that is so much and more important than a treatment and things with it. Because you want to know the why from it. I don't want just to treat you. I want you to feel better, not only for today, but we're building for our future as well. And we're resetting that. So you want to get down into those questions, which is so, so, so important. All right, next slide. So we're going to shift the conversation just a bit from it because everything I share today can feel heavy from it. And I don't want you to walk away feeling like midlife is happening to you. I believe that midlife is a doorway from it. And the question is, do you walk through that door by default or by design?
Come on,
Aging,
design.
yes. Aging by default means accepting every symptom as it's inedible. It's going to happen to me anyway. It's part of aging. Waiting until things happen to you or get worse before you want to do something about it, or blaming yourself when your body changes from it, and then living in that survival mode instead of thriving. When we age with intention, that's understanding that the symptoms are signals, not sentences, advocating for real answers, and choosing providers who listen, and designing your next chapter with the same energy that brought you everything else that you've built.
Come on.
The women that I work with are not meek at all. I'm from it. They're executives, they're mothers, they're founders, they're teachers, they're caretakers. They take care of everyone else, and they've been neglecting the conversation with their own body
Clip
that
that.
they're trying to have with them. And that is the conversation that we're going to have. So, what does healing actually look like in real life? What does that look like to you? How does that feel? Think about that. We're gonna go to the next slide. So when I say healing, I'm not talking about a 30-day reset program at all, or a perfect morning routine where we're getting everything right. I'm talking about the quiet daily practices of deciding how or to truly take yourself seriously. Name it. Language is so powerful from it. When you say perimenopause is brain fog, I'm from it. Instead of saying, I'm losing my mind, you take your power back. And that's important with it. Track it. Start simple. Put a note on your phone. Go into that notes app and write it down. Talk about your sleep quality, your energy, your mood, your cycle, if you're still having them. After 30 days, you will start to see those connections, and that those connections don't feel random from it. They feel right. And that information that you are documenting from it is your ability to advocate from it. You are allowed to push back. I encourage you to always push back from it with your providers, with yourself, with your spouse, with your kids, your family. Push back. You're allowed to ask why with it. You're allowed to leave a provider who dismisses you. You are the expert of your body. You have that ownership with it. Go back. I always tell them there's all kinds of hairdressers and things from them. You can't let everybody play in your head, though,
Mm-mm.
right? You got to find you that right one. And sometimes it's taken us a long time to find our person from it. And we stick with them because she listens to us. She knows exactly what my hair needs in that treatment, and she has that plan. And that takes trust, that takes patience. I'm with it. And oftentimes with our providers, we can get anywhere from a couple minutes to 15 minutes if you're lucky. I'm with it. And it's important to continue to advocate and come with all of your baggage that you have there, though that's your weapons from it. That's your evidence. That's that I'm feeling this way and this is why from that. For you given those words, nourish your body. We talked about it. Protein is not optional in midlife. I'm from it. Sleep is not luxury, it's a necessity. Managing your stress response is important. Breath work, therapy, prayer, movement. I'm from it. It's hormonal medicine. What we eat, taken into our body, is hormonal medicine. Community, just like the community we're here today. This is everything. Sometimes when we're going through all the things, we can feel isolated that, okay, nobody else is feeling this way, or nobody else has talked about it. We have started to speak up so much over the last few years about perimenopause and menopause. We still have work to do, but you have a community such as this, Life of Design, so important to surround yourself with people who fill your cup, who cheers for you, but also will set you straight. You don't need a yes man or yes woman in these women. Don't have somebody that's beside you is going to say yes to everything. Have somebody that's going to be strong and bold enough to stop you in your track and say, you know what? You a little off today. Let's talk about it. Things from what's going on here. Those can be your biggest advocates. I often encourage others like, don't come to your appointment by yourself. Bring your biggest ally from it, whether that's your best friend, rather that's your spouse, whether it's your kids and things with it, because they see you in a different
Okay.
light, in a different lens than you see yourself.
That makes so much sense. Clip
Yeah.
that.
And it's that accountability, it's that partnership, it's that trust. We are impacted by perimenopause and menopause by default, both directly and indirectly.
Yeah.
Think about the people that you walk to when you're going to the grocery store and that door opens, or maybe it's a grocery store that has a door that you got to open and to hold it up for somebody else, or that smile that they give you from that. That can shift your hormones, your soul, make you feel different than anything else from it. Or in that day, that morning, we get up and we decide to put some clothes on and get cute. Think about that. The days and you get up and you're putting some clothes on from it, and you're like, okay, girl, you still got it. From it. You may have some Spanx on and things like that, but girl, wear it. Wear it. Step
I'll put
out.
it on.
Yes. And he's with it. Do it. It's that fueling piece of it. But you also want that person that can see you in your ugly cry with crying down, snot running, all of the things to be able to support you at your highest point and at your weakest point as well, because they see you differently and they're able to know what your needs are and to be able to advocate for you even when we can't advocate for yourself. And it's one of the things I encourage is because when we go to our provider visits, oftentimes we don't sit out there in that waiting room 2 minutes too long and things from it. My blood pressure's up. I'm frustrated. I've got another appointment I got to go to from it. So now I'm just trying to get a refill from it. But it wasn't the refill that you really needed. It was so many other questions and layers that was underneath it that you didn't get answered. So you walk out with that refill, but you still have that same questions, that same feeling that you didn't get fully fulfilled. So it's so important to take somebody with you or write it down. When we write things down in our journal, we not only hold ourselves accountable, we hold our providers accountable from it as well. So when they say, Shamika, this is normal and things from it, and I often would say, okay, that may be a normal range, but this is not normal for me. I still feel that I have high anxiety, that I'm waking up between 1 and 4 o'clock in the morning. What other options do I have available for me? And pose that. And that's going to give you the next one. You can go to the next slide. I'm with it as well. That's going to give you so much power, and it's going to cause your provider to stop and to think about it. Okay, she really does know her
Mm-hmm.
things.
What's going on with her? I love
Mhm.
that.
Yes. So I promised you something actionable from it. And these are three things that require nothing but a decision from it. Number one, start a symptom journal today. We talked about this before. You can use your app phone. You can, put it in if you like to write it in a journal, whatever you like to do, start it today.
Mhm.
Write down three things that your body has been communicating with you that you've been ignoring it. Date it. Put the date on there. You just created your baseline from it. This is my starting point. And when
Okay.
I'm moving forward to today.
And it doesn't matter what that symptoms. It doesn't matter what that is, right? It could be.
No.
Oh, I'm starting to want to take naps at 11 o'clock every day. I want
Mhm.
to, you know, and I was hearing about this. Even the itchy ear and the
Yes.
my shoulder is hurting and all the things. So just write down everything,
Write it all down in the instrument. Even if you feel like, oh, this doesn't matter in the instrument as well. The itching
everything
ears,
matters.
yes, itching ears, burning mouth syndrome, from it, dryness everywhere, I'm just not in the mood. Write it all down
Okay.
from it as well.
Okay.
Number two, I want you to pull your labs from it. You can request them from your provider from it. Go into your portal if you can see them in your portal from it. Look at the key markers. The key markers are going to be your thyroid, your hormones, if they ran them, cortisol levels, your fasting insulin, vitamin D, and iron. And I want you to notice what normal range is versus what feels right in your body from it. Start that baseline. Oftentimes, we're low on vitamin D. Vitamin D impacts that's our mood, our energy. I get up and go from it, that drive, that tiredness, fatigue, all of these markers, thyroid, hormones, cortisol, your insulin levels, vitamin D, our iron, those things impact us on a daily basis more than anything above. So always encourage you to know your numbers from it, know where your starting point is, and how do you feel at this level with it. Even though it may be in a technical normal range from it, being able to optimize it can get you feeling the best as so important. Number three, have an honest conversation with yourself, with someone else that you love. The goal of this is to stop suffering in silence from it. The moment you speak it out loud, you change the whole relationship with it.
Yes.
These are not involuntary actions at all. They are your foundation from it. And a foundation is where lives change from it. You get to set that. You get to change it from it. And the biggest thing about it, especially if you have your kids that are around you, your loved one, even your coworkers, people are watching you. People are looking up to you, whether they've told you or not from it. And you get an opportunity to model that behavior, that support of really listening to yourself from it and understanding where you are. So before we open it up, I want to close with a final thought, and I want to share something with you. We can go to the next slide. On with this. Your body has not been betraying you at all. It's been talking to you. And the language of symptoms from it shifts, these signals that were uncomfortable enough to get your attention, like, okay, what's going on with it? Sometimes we feel like we got to reintroduce ourselves to ourselves because we've changed so much with it. But don't be afraid of that change. Change is growth, change is progress. This are the best of your years. Always they're like, oh, like midlife is happening to me. No, you are blossoming into this amazing woman who's got the wisdom, the courage, the charisma that you have. You would look back to your younger self like, okay, girl, you can do this. We can push through this.
Yeah.
As well. You have this support that's there. That language is so important. And this is where our healthcare system has failed us because we don't interpret that language. But I'm giving you that permission. Interpret it, name it, connect with it. From it, identify you a provider. Not only that, not only stands up for you, for who you are now, but your future self as well. Is that so it matters. I'm from it. Um, Living in action, living intentionally, thriving, thriving for impact. I'm with it. So you can find me. This is if you're thinking about like, hey, like how do I connect with her? I am on all platforms at Thriva Wellness. It's Thryva and then wellness on all platforms from it as well. If you're thinking about, okay, I want to connect with her from it. We've talked about a lot today that can be overwhelming from it, trying to figure out the next steps on your own. And I want you to leave here fired up from it. Pull your labs, look at what you know, what you don't know, be able to feel that. To go back to your provider from it with this equipped with knowledge, with advocacy for yourself. So you don't get dismissed or feel like you're dismissed again. And if you do get dismissed, walk out in confidence and know, okay, I've got to find me another provider. I've got to
Right.
find another avenue. It can be another provider in that same office or even something that's like, give them another chance in these from it. And so like, hey, maybe I need to make another appointment at a different time frame. I'm with it. But if you keep getting that same reaction over and over, it's time to pivot. Don't be afraid to pivot from it. Especially as women, sometimes we want to go to this provider because they take my insurance or they're closer to my home and
Yeah.
these from it. But if they're not serving you from it, you are your best self when you are being served fully. I'm with that. So take a moment to really look at that. It doesn't mean that you have to leave them completely. It may just mean you need a team. They're good here to treat my blood pressure, my asthma, whatever else I have going on, but I need someone else to come in to treat this part of me, and that's okay. That's collaboration. We don't know it all from it, and then we don't expect you to know it all as well. You can always, scan here from it, the check out, or even if you just feel like, hey, I just want some support to understand, like, how do I go to my provider office and talk to them from it. I do that as well. And with equipping you with those questions, that support, and then understanding what your labs are telling you as well. So we're going to end with this last one here from it. What are you thinking from it? I know we'll go through and like answer some questions from it, but how do I know if I'm feeling if perimenopause or it's just stress with those? And these are some common questions that I want you to really think about from it and to kind of come with that. Ask them, like, am I in perimenopause? What does perimenopause look like for me? What does menopause look like? We didn't talk about definitions, but perimenopause can occur like in our late our 30s up until like you're in our 50s. I'm from it. That's our longest and our rockiest time frame with the hormones. Menopause is 1 day and 1 day only. That's the day we've been 12 months without a cycle, no spotting, no nothing at all. And then after that is postmenopause for the rest of our life. With us.
Really?
Yes. So those three main
Oh,
I'm from it as well.
oh
So
my gosh. I had no idea. I thought it was me and my non-medical self. I thought it was literally like three different phases because now I'm thinking, because somebody said, one of my girlfriends, she said, well, my doctor has put me on this. And then she said, you'll take this until you're about 65. And after that, you won't need it anymore. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, so there is perimenopause, and there's menopause, and then there's postmenopause. And I'm
mhm.
like, I don't need no more medicine. Am I going to go back to my 20-year-old self? What am I going to, I know that's a whole nother conversation, but this is where it's going because we're in a phase now. We were in a phase. Now we're in a different phase, and that's going to be a different phase. Like, I'm just like, so again, I thank you for making sure that you are here for us to give this information, to be at places like Life by Design, to show up and create a space where women can go and ask the questions and feel equipped and not walk away feeling defeated. Like, this means so much, not only to this community, but everyone that you serve and every time that you show up. Like, this is just amazing. So I just look, I had to just throw that thank you in there one more time, one more again.
I appreciate it. And, I mean, this is for all of us from it. And I'll tell you that the biggest thing when you're thinking about it is that Your journey is your journey alone. I'm with
Mhm.
it. That you can't compare yourself to others. And with those, some women go through these phases and untouched, don't have any symptoms at all. Some of us have all the symptoms. I'm with it. And even when we get to that postmenopause, many of us are still having symptoms for 5 to 7 years after that time frame as well. And it's different. But the biggest key is listen to your body. Your body is always changing and shifting, so tune in, listening to that and hearing that word from it is so important.
I love this. This
Yeah.
is this is everything. And so, and I hope that everyone's watching, everyone that's watching this morning. First of all, I hope you have some questions, but I hope you have questions for your provider. That's
Mhm.
the biggest thing. Like, I hope you have received the audacity. You've been given the audacity to just ask about you and show up for yourself and not walk out of an office ever again feeling defeated, feeling like I know something is wrong, but my doctor said everything is okay.
Mhm.
Now you can go in there and look and ask questions and just like Shakika was saying, write it all down, put it and give it to them. Just start this journal of all of your symptoms. And I tell you, I feel empowered. I'm thankful that I do have a physician who really like she really listens, she checks everything. Like, I didn't
Mhm.
know this type of doctor even exists, but and you guys may need to connect. She's Dr. O. I'll definitely
Yeah.
send your information. But she is just she does some things on YouTube. But when I went for my yearly just physical, just she checked my head, she checked, but she checked my thyroid, she did ultrasound. I was like, what kind of
All
physical is
right.
this? But that's what we need to be doing. Like, we want somebody to check all the things to get that baseline for me. And so now I feel like you've given us what we need to figure out, not to just figure out, but to talk to the doctor so that we can now understand our very own baseline, because we're not everybody's baseline. We're not textbook baseline. I'm Tara
Correct.
baseline. You're Shakika baseline. Charnel is Charnel's baseline. Tanya is Tanya's baseline. And so this has been this has been awesome. So y'all, are there any questions? Like, go ahead and we got a second here. So let's just, if you have any
Yeah.
questions, go ahead and drop them in the comment sections. We want to feel them, honey. I can't tell you nothing. So don't ask me on prayer on the patio on Monday, because I'm gonna be like, y'all got to call Shakika, because baby, I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Look, don't get in Sugar Circle and ask me about it, because I'm gonna tell y'all I don't know, honey. We're just gonna have to get Shakika back in here, honey, because I don't know. Y'all gonna have to book an appointment.
Yes. Come through.
So
Yes.
great info.
Journalism.
Yes,
Hmm.
go ahead.
I would say journal that changes. So that's so important. From it, one thing I would add about journaling, especially if you're still having your cycle, when you're writing things down, write what day you are within your cycle. It gives us powerful information as a provider of, okay, these are when symptoms are occurring. Oftentimes when we'll have they'll complain of like tiredness, the fatigue, the anxiety and things happening the week prior to and the week of their cycle,
Okay.
from it when your levels are most viable with it. So that is so important. So if you're having your cycle, track it. Like I'm cycle day 2 here, I'm 3, from or start tracking your cycle, because there's a lot of women we don't track our cycles with it. But that's an important piece to tune into your body and understand, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what's happening, why I'm feeling, because we can give so much more information from that.
Okay.
Oh, you're
That's
welcome.
I so wish this was here, because I mean, and I'm 52, and not that I'm, super old, but I had a partial hysterectomy
Mm,
earlier. And after, my life just started, I mean, it was like I was tossed in a ball and people were playing kickball with it. And I was on the inside of the ball, just going, and it's
mhm,
just, and I just saw these things. And even the other day, I was sitting and my daughter was, now my scalp gets like itchy burny, and then there's like hair growing in there, and it just gets, I know it gets a bump and this like pus in it and all this, like it's weird, crazy. Like I'm like, what is going on with my scalp? And she was pulling it out, and I just broke down in tears. And she says, Mom, what is wrong? I said, things are happening to me. I'm getting emotional now. I said, things are happening to me and I don't understand.
Mm.
So this is totally near and dear to my heart. Like because I feel it, you know what I mean? And so for you to just be empowering us to go into our providers. And like I said, I have a really good provider. I really do. Um, but there's so many that don't. And to get this information and to have someone that looks like us to share this information on how we can empower ourselves is absolutely amazing. So testing for those paying out of pocket. Was that the second part of your question, Charnel? I think she had a question earlier. So let me scroll back up a little bit. Um, First diagnosis at 50. Hold on. Thank you. Okay, we got that. They're even running. How can we get tested for those who are paying out of pocket?
Yes. So I do offer testing. The firm, and you can reach out to me as well. That is an important, starting point from that. One of the biggest things, a question I often ask, like, do I have to have my labs testing? When we're thinking about perimenopause or menopause, labs are not required. So that's something you'll see. You're in chat. Oh, my doctor didn't. They'll look at labs and things from it, and they're not required from it. The goal of looking at your labs is helping you to rule out other things. Is getting down to that root cause from that. So it's making sure that I'm not just focusing on one area. I'm taking a step back and looking at the full picture on with it. But they do offer that from it, no matter what state you're in, a bill to look at your labs and equipping you. So if you're in a state that I'm not licensed in, from I can help to give you some coaching and those things from working with your provider, or even connecting you with a provider that's licensed within your state as well. But those are options that we're able to get labs, and at least knowing from okay, what is these labs telling me? Because your labs are a part of your story. I've been able to hone into it as well.
Okay, so I have a real quick question for you. You said you were that you are in Texas and 6 other states.
Mhm.
Okay, can you go ahead and list those states because we're all over? So
Yes, and these are so Texas, New Mexico, Illinois, Washington State, North Carolina, and New York.
I love it. Okay. All right. There you have it, y'all. She's all over. She is all over. Look, but you can also speak with people
Yes,
like,
I can speak to people outside of it from them. The differences is when you're, let's say you're in South Dakota and things from it, we're gonna be doing some coaching, helping to give you education and support from that as well. You still have the opportunity of, hey, I wanted to order labs. Anyone can order labs from it, and then helping to equip you with those next steps as well.
okay, okay, awesome. We've got a question. For the last several weeks, I have lacked in getting sleep, like my brain won't shut off. I don't want to get stuck on sleep aids.
Yes, this is a great one as well too, and it gets back to the progesterone. Remember, progesterone is our feel-good hormone. Helps us get a good night's sleep, helps with our rest. It gives us that wired but tired feeling from it, and with our cortisol levels. So, starting that, looking at your lab. Okay, what does my progesterone look like from it? And if you're still having your cycle, what does that look like based on where my cycle day is as well, and your cortisol. I also like to look at not just okay, these are my symptoms, but what's going on from a full body. We'll talk about your entire day from the top of the when you wake up to the end, from like how you're feeling from a what is your goal, what do you want to feel like. One of the biggest things when we're thinking about from a hormone perspective, especially with sleep, this is not a light switch you can turn on and off from it.
Mm,
It takes time. And when I say time, we'll often start to feel the difference within a couple of weeks from it. You'll get into a good sweet spot between 3 to 6 months, but 6 months is ideal from it. And even with that 6 months, you may need to take a shift. Whether you're doing hormones, non-hormonal options, a combination of both with it, you get to decide what that is, but it's still honing in and listening to your body. So if you're where you're not sleeping, okay, let's check. Let's see what's going on. What's causing that? As though I have inflammation that's there that's blocking it? Is my progesterone low? What is causing it, and how often is it occurring? Because we don't want to get stuck on sleep aids or anything at all from it. We want to get to that why factor, that root cause of where it's occurring.
Okay, love that, love that. Faith says, Terry, you're not alone. We're all going through changes in our bodies. Yes, we are, but I do appreciate, and I know I created this space, y'all, but I created it because this is, this is what we're going through. And when we started when I started Black Women Who Love Outdoor Living Spaces, and we started talking about other things besides just patios, it really became bigger than patios and pillows. So, and here we are, talking about something else that we're growing together and going through things together. So I'm glad that we're able to share this information, and and it equips us to be to just be ready to ask whatever, and give us all the audacity to go in there and say, nope, something is wrong and I need to figure out how to get it right. We got a question on the floor. How do we know if we are receiving the right medication when all tests came out good? Now, Barbara, that's a good question.
Yes, it sure is. So understanding between the difference between normal versus optimal, and things with it as well. Your labs can be normal and things around, but you're not optimized. And with this, so understanding that difference and kind of going through it. But also know that labs are a point of time. It's a snapshot. It's telling us what your body was doing at that moment you had your labs drawn. The crazy thing about our hormones, one minute they look like they in this normal range, and the next second they they're high or they low, and these from it. So I always say, take it with a grain of salt. It goes back to what I was mentioned before, is that labs allows me to rule out other things from it, to make sure that it's my thyroid. Is my thyroid starting to act up to where it's not doing everything, what I expect it to be, or it's my iron or my ferritin levels that's causing that disrupt with it, of getting back down to that root cause, which is going to be so important and key. So just because something's normal, my normal may look different totally to your normal with it. Optimize is where you want to get to as well. I also don't chase numbers with it. That gives us a starting point. It's about how you're feeling. If your labs come back and that's normal, or out your range, but if you're not still sleeping, I'm concerned about the sleeping. Or my drive is not there from my get up and go. Let's address that side of it. Labs are just that point in time. We want to be able to optimize that. Is important.
Okay. And when you're talking about drives, you're talking about aisle drives, the get up and go and the
Get
drive
up
in the
and go.
bedroom.
Yep, all dry. We're gonna talk about it all and things from it, because you
All the
deserve it all and some and
time. And
things from
some.
it and some. So we're gonna pull it, and that's why Ty's like, you know what, this is your safe space from it. So we're gonna talk about everything. Sexual wellness is it's a passion in my heart as well too. But your drive, like to get up and go, and like I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go to the grocery store today, or I just want to get up and go sit in that couch and just and watch TV. That's
Yeah.
okay as well too.
Yeah.
But that's our whole entire person, your full body, from and you deserve it all.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate that. Sandra says, yes, Tara, we're all going through it from hysterectomy. It seems I have been in menopause since I was in my 40s after my hysterectomy. Yes, yes,
That
yes, yes, all of that.
Oh, that is such an important piece of it. We didn't go in and talk about the different types of induced menopause, chemical, and those pieces as well.
Yeah,
And hysterectomy is one of the most common side of it. Even if you still have your ovaries from it, it means that you're going to start to see those changes sooner, and oftentimes at a much intense rate with it, because your ovaries are here and then your uterus is at the bottom. They took the uterus away but left the ovaries. But remember, they're all connected. So you
yes,
broke that blood supply that's there. So you'll start to see those symptoms, the hot flashes, the night sweats, the difficulty sleeping, even though your body is still producing it. And it produces a little bit quicker, or those signs and symptoms that's there. So that's important. Just as if you've only got one ovary versus no ovaries from it,
okay.
that's going to look different. Or you've taken medications to suppress, your hormones. That's going to look different for you as well too.
So let me ask you one question from
Mhm.
that, and then we're gonna get to Barbara's question. When we're talking, because I didn't know, other than I was having iron infusions and my cycles and periods were really heavy, and I couldn't, like I was not functioning. But bigger than anything, I had to have the iron infusions because they were like, okay, if this doesn't work,
Mhm.
then we got to get some transfusions because you're just doing too much right now. But what is the ideal? Because somebody may be watching this that may be considering hysterectomy because of all the things. What is the optimal, like, because it's going to be surgically induced, right?
Mhm.
All these symptoms. But what do they need to do? Because
Support.
it's, yeah.
Mhm. Yes, this is a very common conversation. And when we start to, hysterectomies, they're on the table in these treatment. Is it often a first choice? No, we would try other things, medications, ablations, and all other things before we get to a hysterectomy. But once a hysterectomy is on the table, this requires a deeper conversation.
Okay.
It oftentimes when this hysterectomy is on the table, you've done been through it all. You're tired of the iron infusions. You're tired of changing your pads or tampon or whatever you like.
Yeah.
I've had it. If I see one more piece of blood in these from, it's almost like when you're pregnant and you done and you're tired of being pregnant, just get it out.
Eviction
Oh, you
notice.
don't
Let's
care.
go.
I'm only 30 weeks.
Yeah.
These from it.
Yeah.
I want it with those. And I often encourage you is that that's not the best time for you to make a decision and run a hysterectomy because you're
Okay.
frustrated and things from it. You just want to get it done and over with, and you're not having the opportunity to ask questions that what does this mean afterwards? I'm from it because all you're thinking about it means I'm not gonna have a period. I'm not gonna have a cycle. I'm this
Mhm.
there, and that's a win for you, which is a
Yeah.
great win. But being able to sit down with your provider and say, what does this ripple effect look like from it?
Yes.
They
Okay.
can't give you that vision and looking, okay, this is where the steps are going to happen to you, but being able to forecast that you may see these symptoms that occur. Some women like to start hormonal therapy at that time before that, that starts to you have the hysterectomy, and that's okay. Some want to wait until afterwards, and that's okay as well. It's individualized approach, but know all of your options from
Okay.
that or what that looks like. And also understanding, do I want to have children as well? Because I have some clients that come to me that's in their 30s and are thinking about hysterectomy, but haven't had children from it. What does that look like for you from it? Do you want to have children? Do you want to preserve your eggs? What is that? And it's talking about the big picture from it and that support. So really take a moment to think about it and going through. And that conversation may be more than one conversation. It should be more than one conversation because you're impacting not only today, but your future as well.
Okay. Love that. Thank you so much for answering that. Barbara has a question. She said, "How long should the medicine take to work?"
Mhm. Depends on the medication. From if we're thinking about hormonal medication, oftentimes you can feel a difference within a couple of weeks. From okay, I'm getting my energy and things back.
Yeah.
6 weeks is an optimal time frame. I often, like if I start any type of hormone therapy, I'll repeat labs in 6 weeks just to see where you are. It's a check-in point, or I can start to see changes in your labs. Level 3 to 6 month is a good time frame. It's like now you're optimized. From it. With that, I'm a huge proponent. Just because we start something doesn't mean you have to stay there. There is a variety of options. Patches may work for you, creams may work, an something. There's a different options available. But just because something's not working for you doesn't mean it's the end. Let's go back to the drawing board from that. But give it a couple of weeks for that. Check in with your provider. I send messages out, whether it's an email or I got you a phone call. Okay, we started this. How are you feeling? This is what you should be expecting at this time frame. How are you feeling? And it's those check-in points to kind of say, okay, we're not going to wait to that 6 weeks before we check in with one another. Let's see how we're doing along the way to rather give you support to pivot if we need to pivot from that, but truly understanding you because everyone's different.
Okay, okay, I like that. Faye says I was 100% menopause at 39 to 40 years old. Found that out because we were trying to get pregnant and could not. Thyroid issue and unhealthy ovaries were also problems.
Yes.
So, I just have to say thank y'all for just sharing,
Hmm.
sharing your stories and sharing, in this space because we are going through and we are all dealing with something. But being in a space where we can openly share and openly ask questions so that we can not only help us, but we can help others. And so having these conversations just strengthen us so that we can not feel defeated when someone comes back and says, your labs are normal, but you feel abnormal.
Hmm.
So let me just say one more time to you, Shakika, thank you so much. I am so thankful for you, your brain, your will to want to share this and take this journey with all of us as Black women. So, thank you so much for being a part of Life by Design. And we hope we see you on the patio again.
Yes, absolutely.
So, before we get out of here, let's tell everybody again how to find you. Let's Mo, can we put that slide up real quick with her QR code up again? And then if you can just tell everybody, and I'll add it in here at Thrive Wellness.
Yes. At Thrive Wellness on all platforms, from on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of it. Even on we're on Threads, as well. The way the place. I also post a lot on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is under my name, Shakika Misher. From I also spoke from a provider standpoint, but that's where my newsletters are as well. But my heart is just been is giving back to you. I want to equip you with the words, the encouragement, and the knowledge. If you're sitting and you're watching my videos or my posts from it, save them. Even if that doesn't matter to you, know, like, hey, this thing happened to me right now. Let me go back, to that, or come back and share it with others. The biggest thing I want you to do is make sure you're talking and talking with your loved ones, your support person, and giving them the words, how they can support you and help you in your season, from it as well. So it's so, so, so important. And here's my QR code. I'll start with the alignment session. It's an opportunity for us to kind of sit down, get to know one another, looking at the process, where it goes. And if we move forward, that your investment of $97 also goes towards any packages that you're utilizing as well, from it. So it's a giving that continues to give, from it. But the biggest thing is always, advocate for yourself, stand into it, from it, and live your best thriving life.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Um, Heidi Miller says, enjoyed the conversation and information. Barbara says, thank you for this information. This has been so beneficial for me. I have learned so much today. And so I have to thank you again because this has been amazing. I just absolutely appreciate this. And kudos to you. And I'm excited to see all the work that Thrive Wellness is going to be doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are
Thank
so
you.
welcome, Sugar. Do you have anything that you'd like to add before we get out of here?
No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the invite, from it. Means the world to me just to be able to come and share. And you guys are sharing your most vulnerable pieces, from that. And that's important. And it's hold is so near and dear to my heart, as well. The biggest thing I want to leave you with is own it. Own yourself. Remember, you're the expert of your body. Equipped yourself, equip your loved ones, from it. But the biggest thing, like, never give up on yourself. Don't keep pushing through. There's support, that's available for you, even if it's not in your own home. But you know what? With all this internet world and these ways from it, it can come to you right to your house at your fingertips and things as well. And that's the beauty of it. So keep on, keep pushing, keep living, from it, and keep thriving as well.
I love that. I love that. Thank you again, Shakika. I cannot wait to again see all the things that you're doing. And we'll be in touch in these internet streets, honey.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
You take care and have a happy Saturday, okay?
Yes. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. So y'all, this has been amazing. I tell you what, listen, this has been a good session. I am thankful for Shakika for coming to be the guest speaker this week, for this month for Life by Design. Now, listen, if you have not invited someone to come and hang out with us for Life by Design, y'all see what we're talking about. We're getting real information. We're talking about real topics that are plaguing us, and we're getting real information so that we can empower ourselves to do better, to stand up for ourselves and just have the audacity to live our life by design. So make sure you are inviting someone. You can give them this website. You can screenshot this and send it to them and say, you know what, I was at at Life by Design this Saturday. Join me next Saturday. Bring someone with you because this information is too good to keep to yourself. All right. Y'all, we got the patio business guide. I don't know if you have seen it. I don't know if you've heard about it, but if you have not, I want you to make sure that you tap into the patio business guide. So if you have a small business, then I want you to consider being a part of our patio business guide. This guide will be shared with all of our members. So we'll be sending out, we'll send out all the information to everyone in our email list, but we will also post this directory in our group of over 244,000 people, of 244,000 women. That's because folks always ask us, they are asking me all the time, Tara, do you know who does this? Tara, do you know who does that? Tara, and I'm like, Lord, I don't know, y'all. Hold on, wait a minute, let me find someone. But we always have sugars in the group that are doing things, and we want to share that information. So we're still running our anniversary special. So go ahead and jump in there. You can get a $49 listing, or you can get that sugar combo and go ahead and get Sugar Circle membership, a half-page magazine ad in our next issue, which comes out in July. And you'll be in that directory permanently, and that's only $99. So make sure you tap in. You can go right over there to bit.ly/the patio business guide. So go ahead and screenshot that and come and hang out with us in the patio business guide. Y'all, the patio magazine. Listen, I don't know if you saw the anniversary issue, but it was absolutely amazing. And we've got our July issue coming up, and we cannot wait for you to see all the things. Y'all, it's getting bigger, it's getting better, and it's getting more amazing. I'm super excited about all the things that we have coming up in the issue. We are talking about living our life by design. We are talking about intentional living that meets beautiful spaces. We're talking about being outside. So make sure y'all are tapping into the Patio Magazine. If you have not subscribed, if you've not gotten your issue, then I need you to go ahead and go to bit.ly/the patio and get that anniversary guide, get that anniversary magazine, so you can see all of the amazing things that are in store for you. Let me see. Did I miss anything? Am I missing anything, y'all? Mo, am I missing anything? Look, I've got my list, but I'm just like making sure that I have. Oh, we got the Sugar Circle. Thank you so much, Mo. Y'all, if you have not joined the Sugar Circle, then you are missing out on a treat. I do see some Sugar Circle members in the room. Thank you for being a member, but you can go ahead and get in. It's a private circle of inspiration, exclusive perks, and real connection that makes everyday life feel lighter, brighter, and more beautiful. So go ahead and give us your ear, your eyes, and all the things, and join Sugar Circle. It is just deeper conversations. We just connect. And it's an amazing time. So you can go to heysugar.com and join us in Sugar Circle. I think, is it still on sale? Mo, is Sugar Circle still on sale? Just if you haven't gone in, because we did the introductory, and I think it is $49, y'all. I think it's $49, but you want to go ahead and get in before it goes up to $99 for the year. So go ahead and join us in Sugar Circle, because you get the exclusive perks. Barbara says, thank you, Tara, for these monthly sessions. More than patios. Absolutely. I'm sending out another invite. My friends are missing out. Yes, they are. Thank you for being here. This is, this entire Life by Design thing was one of those things in my brain, and I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so good. We can just, we always talk about some things more than patios and pillows, and we are here to talk about these things, because while we're sitting on the patios, then we need to be talking about things that just are changing our lives. And so we want to be in a space where we can get all of the information that we need, so that we can go out there and design our lives so we can live with intention. I think that's all of my announcements. Mo, if I missed anything, flash me a new slide. And she has one. Prayer on the Patio. If you haven't been on Prayer on the Patio with us, then make sure you're joining us Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on YouTube, or my Tara L page, Facebook page. We are praying. Y'all know, if you haven't been there, then I need you to come. I need you to show up on Monday and tell me, hey, Tara, you invited me from Life by Design. I am here. I definitely want to see you there. We have a call for speakers for Life by Design. If you know someone who would love to speak in here on one of our four Saturdays, on one of our fourth Saturdays, depending on what our subject matter is, we're living our life by design. And I'm not an expert in all these spaces. I just use my platform to share it with experts to make sure that we can get the information that we need so we can live our life by design. So if you know someone, go ahead and go to the website, heysugar.com/life by design. If you need to go ahead and screenshot that, go ahead and do that so you can share this message with someone, or this call to action with a potential speaker. We would definitely appreciate you spreading the word. Save the date, save the date. Okay. So our June Life by Design is rest as a strategy. Too many times we sit around, and when we are sitting around just to give ourselves a moment to pause, we tell ourselves that we are lazy, that we are not worthy of this rest, that we should not be napping, that we should be busy. And you know what? That is simply not true. That is simply not true. So we're going to talk about this. So if you have not invited someone to Life by Design, I want you to invite someone for Saturday, June 27th at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We are going to talk about rest as a strategy. Rest is not an option. Rest is a necessity, and it's not a luxury. It's not a luxurious option. It is something that we must have in order to live the life we are designing. So make sure you are inviting someone that needs this, because you know it, just like she was saying, just like Shakika was saying, have someone go with you to the doctor because they see you in a different light. They see you in a different light. And we see our friends differently. We see the friend that's saying, girl, I can't sleep, I got to do this. Girl, I can't take a nap, I got to do this. Well, you need to get that friend and say, you know what? You need to be here. You need to be here because we're talking about rest as a strategy. You need to be in the room. Give her this invitation and say, come and join me. We're going to take this time for ourselves, and we're going to use our rest as a strategy to catapult our lives, the ones that we are designing. Okay, y'all, this has been so amazing. Mo, do I have any more slides? Thank you so much, Sugar. Thank y'all so much for joining us. This has been amazing. Your presence, your energy, your reflections, they're what makes this space so powerful. So I absolutely thank you guys for joining us for every Life by Design. And every Life by Design, we see someone new, and I thank y'all. I thank y'all for coming. I thank you for inviting someone. And someone just said, I'm sending out another invite. My friends are missing out. I love that. And yes, rest is a necessity, not an accessory. You got it. You are so welcome, Jacqueline. I appreciate you guys for being here. Until next time, sugars, don't forget to get outside. I love y'all. Bye-bye.